Hey, this is Joey at lightsatwholesale.com, and we're going to go over all the different types of ground stakes that we may carry, and then also the design and construction and application of them. So this one right here is called the Best Stake. This is exclusive to Lights at Wholesale line. It's the Best Stake. It has a slot for the C9s, has slots for C7s as well, and it's enclosed. So what I really like about this clip is that you can prep it and it doesn't want to fall out, because we're big on prepping before the season happens, and we want to have quite a few thousand feet of this ready to go to deploy. And so we can prep the line on this. And at the same time, what we look for in a ground stake is it doesn't pinch the wires. And what we mean by that, the wire's in here, but if somebody kicks the line, is how does it affect the light? Because these are near the ground, it's sprinklers, everything else, is that back into that socket, if it does start to come off a little bit and water does creep in there, it will trip the GFIs. So when you do ground stakes, you want a premium ground stake because you'll have a lot of issues in the season with tripped GFIs. So when you're decorating a driveway or a ground, what you want to be cognizant of is there's going to be cars that come in here, they're going to step out of their cars, kids are going to ride bikes along the sidewalks, the garages, and they could hit them. So what we like to do is actually push them back away from the edge. We don't want to do it right up against the edge. What I like to do is basically a whole space of yard stake in between, or what you can do when you're decorating is you end up just putting your foot there, and then you know, hey, my heel's there, and I'm going to do this one, stake this one, stake this one. That's a method too. What I also like to do is to line it up to where the bulb is on the edge, and then you're going to pick it straight up and then stake it in the ground. You can get really close doing it that way, and then you may have to just clean it up a little bit along the way. Now that we've gone over the Best Stake, let's go over some other different clips that we carry. So this one here, this is a canny system clip. It's a type of style of patented clip. This one is 5 inches, and then there's a 7.5 inch over here, and I'll get into that in a sec. What is good about these ones is that they actually, if you hit them, they just kind of roll out. So it's not pinching the wire, and if somebody hits it, it's a pretty easy snap-in repair. So let's say a kid's riding his bike and he comes by and just hits these and kind of knocks them out. And then there's a maintenance. Well, with it is the stake still is in the ground, and all you have to do is come by and pop it in. If they have a little clip on the side of them, I know there's Minleon, they have ones where you can buy without the clips. There is actually an edge right here on this canny system stake that matches that clip, and it'll help lock it in place a little bit better. Just like that. And then you just have to pop these in. So it's really easy and fast, especially when you're in season. This Best Clip, you need to unscrew the bulb, put it in there, and you can prep it. If you're running behind and you don't have enough, and you're just behind on man hours and everything else, the season's crazy, get some of these canny systems and you can just pop them in real quick and make a good run. Now moving over here, these ones are 7.5 inch canny system style stakes. And what we like about these, we use a lot of them, is it does keep the line a little bit up off the ground. If you have a little bit of snow in your area, this is really nice because it actually just has it where the bulbs are sitting up a little bit higher. What's also really good for is around planter sections or borders where there's brick. Instead of gluing and getting those lined up, you can also stake this in the ground and stick it up, and it's raised up. So it just touches the brick edge and it looks like you line the entire brick edge. So we like using these, especially around trees and yards, and they have the brick and stone around the tree. These are really nice to use with. Now, that's the canny system styles and the different heights. They also have an 11 inch one that's really tall. So if you're in an area with a lot of snow, you may want to raise it up just a little bit higher. So now this stake right here, there's a lot of downsides to this one. It's a very old style stake. They've been around forever. And what it does is it grips this wire right here. They're very difficult to put on. And what I mean by that is you got to get these wires in here and latch them. If you can see, it also tore up the wire just a little bit, and that isn't good. At the same time, if somebody comes by and kicks it, what happens is it's going to pop a little bit of that back into that socket out. Go down and watch our replacement socket video, because if you have these, you may need to really understand how to replace sockets to make a good clean line. So what happens is if somebody's coming by and they end up hitting this, then that vampire contact, it's a little loose, plus water can get there and trip. It is also not raised up off the ground. So if any pooling of water or anything like that, and that back end comes off, you're gonna have a tripped GFI really quickly. What's really good about these ones, if you do have them left over, is you can actually use them as like a yard staple. And what I mean by that is if you were running an extension cord across the lawn and you wanted to pin this wire down because you don't want any trip hazards, then you can actually take this like this, and then you can pin it down into the ground, and that holds it down to where there's no trip hazard that comes through there. Hey, this is Joey at lightsatwholesale.com, and we're gonna go over how yard stakes hold up. Savvy's gonna kick them and see how they hold up. Let's see here. Ooh, that's not good. This is the original yard stake, the last one in the video. Go ahead, kick them. These are just popping off super easy. All right, go over to this one. This is 7.5-inch canny system stake. How does it hold up? Ooh, pretty good. Go ahead, keep kicking it. All right, now do the 5-inch canny system. All right, now do this one right here. This is the best clip. The best enclosed yard stake. Kick them all up and down. I'll kick them. All right, let's see how they hold up. Right here, they're all illuminated. This one looks like it's a little bit loose on the bulb, but all of them are good. How's this one look? Bad. Let's see. All our lights are lit up, so all we have to do is pop them back in. So all we have to do is put them back in place. A little of the bulbs are a little bit loose, but our line is still good. What about the 7.5-inch stake? Are all of them lit up? They're all lit up. We just have to pop them back in place. Ooh, you did break one. Look what you did. So we did have one broken clip on the 7.5-inch, and then this stake, a regular ground stake, these ones are destroyed. They are not good. All the sockets have popped off, and you have exposed line everywhere. So that's what I was meaning by that tripped GFI. And that is a good test. There we go.